This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105. Hello, folks. How is everybody doing? As promised, we would be back. And here we are. We are back. And on your screen, you see the squad. Jamaica's under-17 team. And there's a lot to discuss. And I know many people have question marks in relation to credentials, Maron Gordon, and what all of this means. And what I'll say to you is this. All right, cool. I understand where you're coming from there, because if you don't know a lot, then fine, cool. I get what you're saying. But what I'll say is this specifically. I'm going to give you all the information that you need, and then we take it from there. And we take it to an angle where you can say, all right, this happened, or this is what we can expect. And I think that's only fair enough. So without further ado, folks, here we go. Let's get right into information. And if you guys haven't already, use the super chat feature to get your comment or question highlighted so that you guys can get a bit more insight into everything, you know? So I look forward to see what you guys have to say where that is concerned. So let's see what you guys have to say. All right. But on your screen right now, what you see specifically is Jamaica's squad. And this is a squad in relation to the one that is currently in camp in preparation for the CONCACAF Under-17 Championship slated for Guatemala in the new year. Now, that championship in particular is slated to run from February 11 to February 26. All right. So that is something that I want you guys to look out for, February 11 to February 26. Okay? So let that bear in mind for everyone. Okay? Cool. Jamaica's group in this tournament has Costa Rica, Cuba, and Guatemala. Costa Rica, Cuba, and Guadeloupe. And basically what Jamaica needs to do is ensure that they finish within the top three. And if they're able to finish within the top three, then they will advance to the round of 16 of the competition. Now, upon advancing to the round of 16 of the competition, they will face if they can top their group, one of Bermuda, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, or Nicaragua. This is, to be quite frank with everyone, a big chance for Jamaica. Very, very big chance for Jamaica to get to another Under-17 World Cup. But I know, and I have been seeing the comments that have been coming in here and elsewhere, concerns in relation to how far can Jamaica really go? Can we really expect them to go to and qualify for the Under-17 FIFA World Cup in Peru in November? This is something that we can really, really anticipate. Where Jamaica flies our own Lima and Tacna and Chiclao and Puria. It's something worth considering. It's something worth considering. So let's get down to the squad. Let me provide some information and some updates as it relates to the squad, and then we take everything from there. All right, so let's get right into the squad first. And then after we look at the squad in particular, what we will do after that is give you guys an opportunity to basically give your take, give your view on proceedings. And from there, you guys tell me exactly what you need. How does that sound? Does that sound good? Well, hope that you guys are okay with that. So let's proceed, shall we? Sounds good? All right. Let's roll. So Merrin Gordon, as you know, is the current head coach of the national Under-17 team. And he's going to be assisted by, Basil Reynolds. That is right. So let us look at the squad specifically. Leighton Murray, Twain Lynch, Garfield Tomlinson, Tyreek McKinley, O'Neill Headley, Carlton Brown, Javin Williams, Ahir Dixon, Rajay Taylor, Alex Xavier Gooden, Dante Peralta, Ronaldo Hitchman, Malachi Molina, Jason White, Ronaldo Barrett, Logan Hall, Malik Robinson, Amir Dawkins, Jamani Bell, Dylan John, Dunstan Cohen, Denzel McKenzie, Demaria Bailey, Orain Watson, Nasado Gibbs, Niall Waugh, Dak Zadi, and Kemuel Kepako. Now, I know exactly what you guys are thinking right now, and you might be saying to yourself, is this the squad? Is this a squad that we can expect for Jamaica coming up at the Under-17 Championships in Guatemala? And it's a fair question. And I fully understand where you guys are coming from, where that is concerned. I do. And I do understand exactly with what you guys are saying. So let's get into the facts. IS Abdi, how are you doing? Says big up my G. How are you? Hope you are doing well, and hope you and the family are also doing well. You know? How's Qatar? Hope the family are also doing okay. So it'd be great. It'd be great to hear how everything is going and what lies ahead as well. So that is something that we can expect. So I know many people are asking, Simon, but what about the overseas-based players? What about the overseas-based players? How are they? What can we expect from them? Is there anything in particular that we can expect from them? Think about it. What can we expect from them? Well, in the grand scheme of things, the reality is this. It's going to be a challenging one. And that's in relation to getting players. That's going to be a massive challenge. Completely straightforward and honest with you guys. It's going to be a massive challenge getting the overseas players. So let me lay down the facts before we press even further on. Nitro says, bless up, Simon. Bless up. Hope you're doing well, Nitro. Likewise, we're back with them today. Flew back home early today. All right. So, Maron Gordon. What can we ascertain in relation to Maron Gordon? Well, he's won 7 schoolgirl titles. So, at the high school sports level, he's shown his worth. The Costa Cup has won 5 under-16 titles, won 2 under-16 titles at Garba Maceo, won an under-14 title as well at Garba Maceo, won at the Costa Cup, and also won a Ben Francis Cup. He was the man that basically took Lennon High School into light. Nobody knew about Lennon High School before Maron Gordon brought them out to the wilderness in terms of a sporting perspective. Nobody knew about Lennon High. In fact, the only way that I knew about Lennon High, to be quite frank with you, was that Jamal Cunningham, a goalkeeper, was a late replacement for Dean Clark at the Under-17 FIFA World Cup in Mexico in 2011. That's the first time I heard about Lennon High School. I didn't know about Lennon High School before 2011. I didn't at all. But times have changed. Drastically changed, So that is something that we have to look at. I know Ramoy Reed posed a question as well about identifying a style of play and then build a team and scout players that fit the profile and so on. So I know I'm working on a video as it relates to the style and what could suit Jamaica. So that is something that I'll be working on as well. So that's something that you guys can look out for heading into the new year. So we'll look forward to that. All right. Now, what is the challenge that Jamaica possesses right now? As you guys know, a 15-year-old, a 14, 15, and 16-year-old is a minor. And the reality is that Coach Maron Gordon cannot speak to a player directly. He can speak to their mother, father, guardian, but not to the player directly, because these are minors. If it was the under-20 level, then you could speak to the player directly, but Maron Gordon himself cannot speak directly to the player in particular. So that is the challenge right there. Now, I'm going to be completely frank and honest with you guys. Do not expect 10 UK-based players in the under-17 squad. If we get 5, then that is and would be quite a remarkable accomplishment. It would be. It'd be a remarkable accomplishment if that is something that can happen and get over the line. It really would be. It'd be something worth mentioning and considering, and something that you can't denounce by any means. But let's lay down the facts. Yeah. Let's lay down the facts and see what you guys have to say where this matter is concerned. All right. So Cameron Eubank. So Cameron Eubank, you guys know who Cameron Eubank is. He is a central midfielder slash defender who currently plies his trade with Birmingham City in England. Now, the situation specifically with Cameron Eubank is that all of his documents have been submitted to the Jamaican High Commission in London. All of them have been submitted. So there are absolutely no concerns where that is concerned. Those are done and dusted. Yeah. So that's something that I want everybody to bear in mind. Now, the office, as mentioned in a previous video, and that is the High Commission, is expected to be closed next week and also the first week of January. So realistically speaking, Cameron Eubank would not have a Jamaican passport in his hands until perhaps middle of January or even late January. So let's think about that for a moment. Just process that for a moment. You know? And bearing in mind, the qualifiers start when? February 11. Okay, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that, guys. In the meantime, like this video and share it with a friend. It's quite simple, guys. Like this video and share it with a friend. That's all I'm asking. All I'm asking at this point in time is like this video and share it with a friend. That's it. Like the video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. That's it. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Now, Cameron Eubank, as you guys know, the documents are sent to Jamaica, and then after that, we're looking at a process where documents are sent back to England. So who knows? First week of February, the passport could be in his hand. But that would be dangerous, wouldn't it? Bearing in mind that this is somebody that wouldn't have trained the team. I mean, you don't need a Jamaican passport to train with the team. So he could come for the January camp, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be on the final plane. I expect him to do so. I expect him to do so wholeheartedly. But, you know, the coaching staff and others might very well look in another direction. It's a strong possibility. And it's one that could not be ignored by any means or stretch of the imagination. So, from that angle, it's not something that you can ignore. So, that's what we have to bear in mind there. So, with that being said, now, who is the other player? Now, as you guys know already, there is a mercurial talent already plying his trade within Scotland. This is none other than the London born Zach Lovelace. Zach is 16. He turned 17 in January, and he plies his trade with Rangers in the Scottish Premiership. This season in particular, he made his debut for the club in the League Cup against League One side Queen of the South. But this was back in August, I believe. But still, at 16, he played for the club. And last year, remember, you know, he was 15 and played in the championship with Millwall. Yeah. He scored 26 goals in 15 appearances en route to Gleb's Kent's Youth League victory. And after scoring 21 goals in 19 games through their youth team, he made a late substitute appearance against Coventry becoming Millwall's second ever youngest player in the process, and one of the youngest players to ever play within the championship. An opportunity presented itself, and he's not Rangers, and this is a long-term contract. And that's where we are at this point in time. Isn't that a fantastic, folks? But do let us know your thoughts, your comments, your questions, everything in relation to this matter in particular. I look forward to what you have to say, and can't wait to see the comments and questions that you guys will have in relation to these players in particular. So perhaps I can give some insights into some of these players for you guys, and I know some of the names of you guys will attract and appeal to you quite well, so we'll do that. As some of them in particular, former players at youth level, as in former players that are coming from like Adrian Reed. Adrian Reed's son is Adrian Reed Jr. You know what I'm saying? Orion Watson is Glenn Muir, Leighton Morris, and Jago. Demario Bailey is Casey. Denzel McKenzie, Mona High. Dustin Cohen is Denby High School. Ronaldo Barrett is Hydel. Jason White is Glenmuir. Ronaldo Hitchman is Vertec. Dante Peralta is Mona High. Xavier Gooden is St. Andrew Technical. So those players from that angle. Hope that clears up the nation. Boat Barrett is Clarendon College, I believe so. And then you look at others in this: Carlton Brown, Mona High. I hear Dixon is York Castle High. Rajay Taylor, KC. Jason White, as I said, Glenn Muir, O'Neill Hedby, Glenn Muir, DeAndre Gallimore, Clarendon College. Jamani Bell, Woolmers, Dylan John, JC Cohen, like we said already. So that is where we are. That's where we are with everything. But hopefully you guys see everything and understand everything that has transpired here on in. And if you do have further questions on that matter, then do let me know. Let's hear what you guys have to say. With this squad, how far they can go. With this current squad that is here, I don't expect it to be the final squad, but with this current squad that we have here, round of 16, but you put in Zach Lovelace and you put in Cameron Eubank, and oh my days, you have quality. You have quality. And we're talking quarterfinals, and from there, you're knocking on the door to being in the semifinals and qualifying. You know what I'm saying? Right there, you're knocking on the door. So yeah, that's the situation. Personally, I feel with a Cameron Eubank, with a Zach Lovelace in the roster, yeah, we're looking at a squad that is more than capable of challenging for a World Cup spot. Spangdon says, summarize the changes again. Just joined. So if you look at this current squad in particular, Spengdon, you will see that this squad doesn't have a lot of overseas-based players within the current roster. However, this squad that you're seeing right here is expected to be narrowed down to 28. By January, we're looking at a 28-member squad, and as we know from there, 4 to 5 players will be cut, and from there we'll have the squad for the CONCACAF Under-17 Championship, which is slated for Guatemala, February 11 next year. And can you believe it? That's less than 2 months away. As I've said, the Under-17 World Cup in Peru, right? Yes, the tournament itself is in Peru. It is in Peru. The tournament itself is in Peru, and that's going to be October, November. So it's 4 teams. The top 4 CONCACAF teams will qualify for that tournament. So basically, it's going to be the 4 semifinalists. 4 semifinalists. So you win your quarterfinal, and you're going there. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So that's the situation, folks. That is where we are. And I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say in relation to these changes that lie ahead and everything of that nature. So I look forward to it and can't wait to see what you guys have to say in everything of this manner. Saying none said respect. Herman Willis says, big up, Simon. Big up, Herman. How are you doing? All is well? How are things? Well, I hope you and your family are doing well and everything of that nature. Any questions you guys have? Ab says, Somalia Under-17 qualified for the AFCON in Algeria for the first time. Let's hope they can get to the semi-final and qualify for Peru. Yeah, you know, the thing is with Somalia, who knows, Jamaica and Somalia in the same group at the World Cup? That would be interesting. But tell me though, ISABs, tell me about the coach, Rashid Lutesk. I think his name is Rashid Lutesk. What is he like? Because I know Moroccan born, not Somalian born. What is the mood like in relation to him? I think you play your home games at the Mogadishu Stadium in Somalia. So yeah, you can tell me about what it's like there, and you know, the national team itself, because I know Adidas was responsible for quite some time, but there's been some changes. I know a couple of players apply their trade overseas, like Ahmed Ali. He applies a trade in England, somewhere in the Midlands, Halissowen. And they also players that apply their trade in the CPL, like Ali Moose, who plays for Calvary in Canada, and Syed Haji. It's funny because born in Kenya, represented the United States at youth level, and now represents Somalia. So, yeah, quite a compelling case there. But you can let me know the story with Somalia, because they're part of Italy at one point, and they're also a former British colony. And then it wasn't until like the 80s that it tried to qualify, thereabouts. But yeah, you can let me know the journey that they've had, and you know, the growth they're trying to do as an African team. And weren't they at not the FIFA Arab Cup, but the 2019 edition of the Council for East and Central Africa Cup? I remember they were there, but they didn't pass a group stage or something like that. So and the Pan Arab Games as well. You know, the journey that they've had in that tournament in particular. I mean, you can talk a little bit about that as well. He was the coach, they let him go, so we don't have a coach right now. The federation is getting ready for elections in 2 weeks. I see, I see. Appreciate the update, man. Appreciate the updates. I see. Interesting. It's funny, you know, a population of 17 million or so in Somalia, and maybe you can tell me the situation there as it relates to football. If it's something that is developing, or it's still something that is left to be desired. But yeah, I know above Somalia, you have Saudi Arabia, you have Yemen, you have Oman, you have the UAE, you have Bahrain, you have Qatar, Saudi Arabia, like I made mention about, Kuwait. So that region already. So, yeah. "2019 was our best year. We got our first ever World Cup qualifiers." Ah, I see. I understand exactly what you're saying. Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I appreciate you sharing that with me. I didn't know that. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Simon, what's your take on the under 17 coach too? Do you think he can get the job done? All right, so I spoke about this earlier in the video island card, but I'm more than happy to go over this in particular again for you. So here's the situation as it relates to the head coach of the under 17 national team, which is Maron Gordon. Now, Maron Gordon, in my opinion, there is still some work to do. If you even ask him, he'll tell you he's not a finished product or article as a coach at all. There's still some elements where he is working upon. Now, in relation to the other factors in particular, what I'll say is that I think that we knew from perhaps 2-3 months ago that he was a head coach of the under 17 team. I'm thinking at this point in time, before we have the situation, that you would need to have certain persons that would do the reaching out for you as the head coach of the team to say, okay, look, we have Cuba Mitchell, we have Cameron Eubank, we have Lewis Darlington, we have O'Shea Ellis, these players that can represent Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, I just personally think that I understand what is being said in relation to the matter of you can't speak to minors. I fully get that, and I fully endorse that sort of message. And I do understand in that particular age group that it is the parent or guardian that you speak to in that matter. I fully understand that. But the qualifiers are coming up, right? The qualifiers are less than 8 weeks away. 8 weeks away. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? How much time will Cameron Eubank have on the field? How much time will Cameron Eubank have to gel in with the players? How much time will Zach Lovelace get an opportunity to be able to gel in with the new players that are in? Is he even going to have an opportunity, Zach Lovelace, to be able to train with the team prior to departure to Guatemala? Will Zach Lovelace make his debut for Jamaica in a competitive game, a qualifier? These, again, are situations and matters that are concerning. And I know at under 17 level it is difficult to arrange international friendlies, But I'm telling you, even if it means that you're playing an RSPL, I'm sorry for using the word RSPL, but a JPL team, a Jamaica Premier League team, I'm sure that is more than facilitated because you're doing something for the best interest of the country. You're playing against players that ply their trade within the JPL week in, week out. They may be under 17 kids, but guess what? You're giving them experience of big man football. Some experience already that these current under 17 players have against big man football. Cameron Eubank has trained with the first team at Birmingham City. He's sat on the bench with Birmingham City first team. He's trained with the first team. He's gotten to know the players. He's played and trained with Jude Bellingham, Joe Bellingham, and many, many others in that hotbed of talent in the West Midlands of England. So for me personally, I think that again, we're going to have this conversation again come the end of February in relation to preparation and time and energy and strength and resources and where it can go and where it should go and all of those factors. And it's just absolutely frustrating, really, really frustrating that the reason that Jamaica has not been to more under 17 and under 20 World Cups is due to a lack of preparation. Honestly, for me, I just shake my head because of that. I really, really do. I really, really do. Honestly, we can go back to the past couple of generations. Under 17, we qualified 2011, yeah? All right, let's go to the 2013 campaign. 2013 campaign, Jamaica played off against Canada in the quarterfinals, leading 2-1 at halftime. 2-1 at halftime. Khalil Stewart with two brilliant goals. And then in the second half, here comes a professional footballer in Jordan Hamilton goes and changes the game and Canada wins by 4 goals to 2015, unfortunate. Absolutely unfortunate. A penalty shootout is literally a flip of the coin. If Alex Marshall scores a penalty kick, we would have been going to Chile. But for me, I think, and as Andrew Edwards has said publicly, we probably should have beaten Cuba. And if Jamaica had beaten Cuba, we perhaps wouldn't have played and faced against the United States in that World Cup playoff game in particular. Yeah. 2017, preparation again. 2019, preparation. And I don't think the best squad was selected by Coach Hopton Gilchrist as well. So for me, it's just absolutely frustrating that we're having the same conversation about preparation. It's December, it's mid-December. The qualifiers are less than 2 months away. Look at Jamaica's opponents within the qualifiers. Costa Rica, Guadeloupe, Cuba. Costa Rica have been in camp since March. Guadeloupe have been in camp since July, and Cuba have been in camp since August. What does that tell you? I hope that gives you everything that you need right there. Siobhan Peart has broken down the dates for you guys so that you can be able to see how time is so limited. I'm going to be getting to the comments quite shortly for you guys. The Federation hasn't been the best that it could to develop, but from 2014, from losing 5-0 to Niger to almost beating Zimbabwe to get the second round of qualifiers the first time, let's hope they get dual nationals because we have lost some to Sweden, Saudi Arabia, etc. Simon, the fact is that the JFF do not want to use players not born in Jamaica. Why Football Global Vision? Why wouldn't we want that? And I don't think that is an accurate statement. Cameron Eubank is not born in Jamaica, but he is somebody that is wanted. So I wouldn't say that is fair. If you're going to say that you wouldn't want a 23-man squad that is dominated with 20 or 21 UK-based players, then perhaps we could have a conversation about it. Maybe that's a conversation we can have. But to say we don't want any Jamaican-born players in the squad, that is something that I cannot agree with at all. 57 days. 7 days in a week, right? That's 8 weeks and 1 day. 8 weeks and 1 day from now. 8 weeks and 1 day from now. And still, 8 weeks and 1 day from now. And Cameron Eubank has not trained with the team. Zach Lovelace has not trained with the team as well. At all. Are these guys going to make their debut for Jamaica and Guatemala? So we're going to give them their World Cup debut in Guatemala. It's unfortunate. It really, really is, honestly. I'm disappointed. Look, there's more than one side to every story. And I fully get that. And I explained this already in a previous video. And I want you guys to be absolutely aware of this. Next week and the week after, the country lockdown, the Commonwealth lockdown, because it's the week before Christmas and the week of New Year's, everything locked. So realistic, and remember, New Year's Day is on the Sunday. And in the Commonwealth speaking nations, the New Year's Day will not be celebrated until the Monday, which is the 2nd, which means that offices will not be back up and running until January 3. So realistically speaking, Cameron Eubank would not get a Jamaican passport in his hand until perhaps the end of January. I'm just being completely transparent with you guys. That is realistically the time that we would see Cameron Eubank have a Jamaican passport within his hand. Dean Fraser says, Simon, you can't see the squad. I will read it out again, my friend. I'll read it out again for everybody to see. Siobhan Peart says less than 2 months. Yeah, less than 2 months. Less than 2 months. You are right. JFF, these players have parents and clubs to speak to. Have parents, clubs to speak to. Same excuse. We did not have enough time. I hear what you're saying. So here's my thought about it. From the moment that Coach Mern Gordon was appointed head coach of the under-17 team, we should say, okay, I have the database. Here are all the eligible players for Jamaica under-17, which I have done and which I have provided to Coach Mern Gordon, and which is something that he would gladly speak publicly about, because I have provided him names of eligible players for under-17 and under-20. He can tell you that already. What is the best team? The best team has Cameron Eubank in it. And I'm telling you right now, if Cameron Eubank is not in the final squad, then it's going to be extremely, extremely difficult to qualify for Peru. I'm telling you guys right now. Costa Rica have been in camp since March. They're prepared well. Well, Costa Rica, when you translate that word into English, means rich coast, or technically speaking, coast rich coast. They are a wealthy nation in many aspects. You know how long ago March was? March was 9 months ago. Central American and South American teams actually put a pause to their national league so that their national team players can train. Their under-21 and under-19 leagues go on a break just so that their national teams can train. You understand where I'm going here? Doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Why you not tell we both no players in Belgium or Dutch or Germany? Why only UK players you want to play? Bolliker, at the under-17 level, there are not many in those countries specifically. If we want to talk senior Reggae Boyz, sure, absolutely. But Denzel Hall is over the age of 17, you know? So the reality of the situation is, look, all right, there's not many in that market. But do you think any overseas players will be in the final squad based on your knowledge? Yes, absolutely. There will be overseas-based players in the final squad once the passport is secured. I have confidence that there will be overseas-based players in the final squad. Absolutely. Bugger. And says the JFF should have gathered the under 17 by now and even play a mini tournament against top Caribbean and Central American teams. Siobhan, look, you're not saying anything wrong here, but I want to let you know that the approach has to be changed. While Costa Rica started their under 17 camp from March 9 months ago, our attention in March was our last three World Cup qualifiers, and also the Reggae girls who had World Cup qualifiers as well. That was the attention at that time. The attention wasn't, 11 months' time we have World Cup qualifiers. Remember, this Costa Rican team is going to be in camp for 11 months. They started with a pool of 60, and then they went to a pool of 40, and now they're down to a pool of 32, which means that they're going to cut off 9 players between now and the tournament itself. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Shaban Pierce, because them only want overhyped players we have play all over the world. So how many do you think will be in there, Simon? I do believe that some players apply their trade in North America will make the final cut. Out of the 23 that will eventually go to Guatemala, expect 7 to be overseas based. And when I say overseas based, I mean those apply their trade outside of Jamaica. So expect 7. Simon, he cannot coach established players. You're talking about Maron Gordon? I don't think you need to. All right, so here's the thing with Maron Gordon. I don't think anybody can chat to him as it relates to what he has done at youth level because of the progress that he has made. All right, he's the only coach that has guided Jamaica to the semifinals of a CONCACAF Women's Championship. The only coach that has ever done that at under 17 level. Only coach that has ever done that. And if you want to look at the men's stuff, for the Costa Cup semifinals, 7 under 16 titles, an under 14 title at the Costa Cup and a Ben Francis Cup. So if you want some more stats based on what he has done as a coach, let me know. Let me know and let's take it from there. Let's break it down together. Simon, I'm just scared of a repeat of the under 20 campaign. All the signs are similar, so I'm just getting worried. The difference between the under 17 and the under 20 campaign is that the under 20s were actually in camp months before the actual qualifiers in Honduras itself. Remember, the team had matches and training at UE and Arnett Gardens and so on and so forth. So the team was actually in camp. The team was training. The team was together. The team was there in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying? So compared to this under 17 team that is just getting together. But the glimmer of hope that you guys can have is that under 17 is different from under 20. Under 20, you're a professional. You should be professional. Under 17, you're on the cusp of being professional if you haven't been professional already. So talent-wise, it's going to be like this. But it's the cutting edge with the experience that a Lovelace has and a Cameron Eubank has that can give Jamaica the lift that they need. So why he refused to use them in his system? Who is they? Why he refused to use them in his system? Them being Cameron Eubank and Zach Lovelace? Are those individuals you're talking about? Please put the question in and let me see what you guys have. Simon, how many Clarendon College players are in the squad? This one that is on your screen? 4. So yeah. But let's see the question. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cameron Eubank and Zach Lovelace were not refused. These are individuals that he would like to use, but he can't call up these players to camp right now because they're unavailable. He could call them up for the January camp, which will be mid-January thereabouts, but he can't call them up for this camp in particular. So that is what I'll say there. And I hope if you have a follow-up question, then go and be my guest on the matter. Just let me know what are your thoughts about this. So let me know what you think. Hail Simon, bro. I'm terrified I haven't been able to obtain any more of this beautiful beverage that I see you advertised so often since the last time, bro. What are you talking about? Andigo nuts, coconut water. Uh, Brian, just private message me on Instagram and we'll sort it out, okay? Andigo nuts, coconut water. Yeah, don't worry. There's plenty, plenty more in stock, and they now come in new bottle sizes. So trust me, it's not something you want to miss. Because trust me, it's really good. Simon, I'm not seeing the full squad from here. Was that kid from Campion College selected? Yes. Shane Rodney says JFF needs to go. Let me read out the squad for everybody so that everybody's aware of the full squad itself. Blade Moria, Twain Lynch, Garfield Tomlinson, Tariq McKinley, O'Neill Headley, Carlton Brown, Javin Williams, Ahir Dixon, Roger Taylor, Alex Xavier Gooden, Dante Peralta, Ronaldo Hitchman, Malachi Molina, Jason White, Ronaldo Bart, Logan Hall, Malik Robinson, Amir Dawkins, Jamani Bell, Dylan John, Dunstan Cohen, Denzel McKenzie, Demaria Bailey, Orain Watson, Nasada Gibbs, Niall Waugh, Dax Zadie, and Kemwell K. Pakpo. Yeah. Why am I not seeing any stats player? And they won the 16 and the 14. Like I said, Ricardo, this is not the final squad. And come January squad, I think you're going to see a squad that is closer towards the one that will be selected eventually for the championship itself. Water, brilliant, bro. The people them need to know about it, fam. Guys, Andy Nuts coconut water, you guys need to purchase it. Trust me, the best coconut water in the world. Call 876-381-6051. That's 876-381-6051. Also, Simon, I'd like you to get a number for Roy for me. Just tell him that Pat wants it. Cool, boss. No problemo. Where is Kia from Campion? Surely he can make the squad. He can. He certainly can. Are they going to break camp? You said mid-January. Yes, they are going to break camp and rejoin mid-January. So they'll take a break for the Christmas and the New Year and return mid-January. So yes, they will take a break. That is right, folks. So guys, let me know your feedback. Let me know what your thoughts about the process, how you think everything can unfold. I look forward to hear what you guys have to say with everything of this matter. And I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. I think this is something that can, iron out quite brilliantly. But I tell you what, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boyz Commentary for more content. All right, guys? Let me know what you guys have to say. Simon, that mean other player will be added in the trail. Am I right? Yes, you are right, Island Cart. All right, guys. Plenty of videos to come. You know it, go. This video is brought to you by MPEG Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.